Hello, welcome back. Today I'd like to share with you how I use digital kits in my journal making. Digital kits are really beautiful. The creators are so talented, and the best part about it is you can use them over and over again. Some of these digital kits I've bought a long time ago, and some of them just recently. You can resize them, and you can even change the color a little bit if you have the software to do that. I use Microsoft Publisher to do some things, and I do fool around a little bit with Photoshop elements, but I am not an expert by any means. But I get to do what I can with those two programs with the little knowledge that I have. I will list all these kits in the description below so that you would be able to see the ones that I've been using and maybe go to their Etsy shop and make a purchase for them. All right, so I made an autumn journal. The focal point here says autumn shows us how beautiful it is to let things go. I think it's a great way to approach autumn and understand that in your life it's so important to be able to let go the hurt, maybe anger. It just makes your life so much more pleasant not to have that nagging at you all the time. Hard thing to do though, I have to admit. The cover is inspired by Artymaze. She had a series a while ago called Junk in the Trunk, and number 7, 15, and 18 she highlights using cardboard to make these toppers for your journal. And I just love the way it looks. It's very rustic, and it has the perfect the perfect look, I think, for this journal, this autumn journal. So how does she do it in a nutshell? Basically cardboard, roughing it up, tearing it a little bit, then some gesso, and then some stamping, using decoupage with some napkins and some spatter paint. The way she does it is just a wonderful explanation on how to do it step by step, but I do really like that look. Then you add a focal point. So on this particular cover, what I've done is I had a piece of this plaid scrap paper, fabric. I guess the lighting isn't so good when I get close to the camera. And it really just fit the colors. So here's a little bit of a close-up on that cover. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, I did put in some holes to put a ribbon on it, but I tried to make this a journal that wouldn't be a gator mouth, that wouldn't be so full, and then you add your things on it and it would even be more. But I did add something so that you have the ability to use a ribbon on it. All right. Front page, just some burlap, a little tag here using a die cut that I had onto the kit tag and some sewing around. This is a little bit of a, just not too much change here. I used this as a background and then was able to add this journal belongs to, so a little book plate here. I also added a note from the bookmaker, which talks about what you can do with these journals. All right, so here is a butterfly on top of some cheesecloth that I had dyed. I think I dyed that with the avocado dye that I made. I'll talk about that a little bit later. And there's just a hanging tag. Some tags with the kit. I put them together with a little bit of a button. Some ribbon that I had that was autumn related. This is a coffee cup insulator. Here's a tag with a little bit of sewing, a bow, and a little charm on it. Again, This is, you take the digital kits and you can make them your own. This one, I had this little embroidery ribbon, splatter paint on the tag, some lace, and then a little bit of another piece of ephemera. Here I had this butterfly die cut, and this paper came with the kit here. Just a little tuck. The avocado dyed paper is perfect color for this kit. I had a lot of avocado skins and the seeds saved up, and I made a huge batch of dye and had multiple papers outdoors all over my yard. That worked out really well though. I love how the modeling is in the paper, and I did go around afterwards and squeeze some of the dye onto the papers so it added a little bit more texture to it. This is just a fussy cut. Here's an envelope flip that you can add some things to. I do have things in all our envelopes for you to write on. This is homemade paper with some stenciling, and as you can see, it does have some copper pieces in here. Okay, nice page for writing. This is scrapbook paper, and basically I just embossed it and then put some of my some ink over it, and then I did some gold splatter on it. I don't know if that's showing up, but great spot for putting different things. And each string in the center of each signature, I have just a little bit of a covering, and this one happens to be an autumn leaf. Here we have that copper again. This is a hidden paper clip so that you're able to move things around, and you can move this to different pages if you want. Just stick some letters, pictures underneath there. An envelope with something inside. Just another envelope that's flipped over and paper clipped. This is an embossed envelope from the kit with some die cuts there. Okay, this is the scrapbook paper, and it has multiple pages here for you to write some things. It just opens up into one big long strip. Some stenciling, a little tuck right here, stamping. Okay, here is a tag that has some sewing all around, but some decorative sewing. I have a machine that has different types of stitches on it, which really spiffs things up a little bit, I think. And so I made a little cluster, and then right here is just a silk piece of material that I sewed right on there. Okay, some sayings about autumn, and another envelope here. I like little places to stick little things in there. Okay, here's avocado dyed with stitching down the side, and a tuck spot with different ephemera from the kit. Here is a dried fern that I had when I was making the paper, I was able to embed it into the paper. This is the homemade paper again. In the center of this signature, I have an envelope. Again, have little decorative ends on that. Little flip here. Some stenciling. This flips down. Things from the kit. This is an over the page fold, and it has pockets on both sides for you to put them. Page from the kit. Coffee dyed paper. You can see the splats from when I went around and squeezed the sponge. And here's a little folder. on our third signature, I have a little bit of a little journal hanging from a button. Flip, fabric flip. This is just some paper to journal on, but you can see the stitching here. And then this was a die cut that I just incorporated onto a tag. This is part of the scrapbook paper that I had used. Some sayings and another folder, as well as a journaling card. Beautiful, beautiful papers. A tag, sewing, some cheesecloth with the little butterfly, and then a tag. I think this tag came from Sasibo, and she was able to use credit cards, old credit cards, and she supplied free digital so that you could print them out and they would make some different small tags. This is a little pad that's over a belly band. Here we go. Some mushrooms in there. This center cutout is just a beautiful, I think this is from my Porch prints, and I did buy that kit and I've used those before. I really like them. They're a real surprise when you get to the center. Over here is a tuck, and then we have an over the page tag, I guess, where you can use it for putting in some little ephemera. And these are just die cuts that have a little bit of cheesecloth underneath. Okay. Took a little bit of the ephemera and strung it together to make this belly band. And this was, I'm not really sure what you call it, but it's like wrapped up into a string-like structure, and then you unfold it and you can spread it apart, and the color was just so perfect. So I did do a few pages with that. Little tuck, a little die cut there, place to journal. Then we have a 3-layer pocket with some autumn sayings, and then of course some journaling cards at the end, and the ribbon that if you'd like to use, you can. So the cover itself has this same burlap on the edge, and I want you to see the 3 signatures here. They're far apart, but that helps it from opening up really too much. But there's still, as you can see, there's still room here for you to add your own things, and it won't really expand that much. That's a little experiment for me today. So there you have it. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm hoping to do some nature clusters just to show you how I did that from the woodland journal that I did. So hopefully that will be coming up soon. All right, thanks for watching.